This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the Boss Rush family of podcasts, head to bossrush.net or our Patreon at patreon.com/bossrushmedia. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, man.
I feel like it's been, longer than a week since I've seen you.
That's because this has been kind of a longish week.
Yeah,
This week is dragging ass. Oh, my God.
Dude.
What?
You know how long how long it's been since I've seen you? I've seen Ed 4 times since I've seen you, LeRon.
That is wild. Why are you doing that many shows of Ed?
Because Ed's going on vacation next week, and we needed to do enough shows to cover next week.
So how are you padding like a POW block?
The week he's off, we did our top 25 Switch games. So we didn't do any news or anything because there wasn't anything to talk about. So
nothing to talk about. We're
Nintendo
talking about
news
some,
Nintendo
we're
news
talking
is
some Nintendo news tonight.
not really. Not really. Anyways, LeRon, enough of this. We have a special guest in the building from the Great White North, the Lens Master. We'll call him is Andre Wilson.
Hey, let me just go park my polar bear and get my maple syrup. What's going on, everyone?
Your cops are called Mounties.
They are called Mounties indeed, and they ride horses. Mustangs. They have Mustangs.
It makes me laugh so hard every time I hear the word Mountie.
Mountie. You make it sound so dirty, Corey.
Mountie.
Maybe they shouldn't call themselves Mounties. Okay?
It's funny to say, but when you see them, you're like, wow, that's a Mountie.
It's literally chapter 2 of the Canadian Kama Sutra there, LeRon. So.
Oh my God.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
What the hell? What the hell?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, it's been a long week, okay? I'm just trying to get through. I've been sick. My throat is sore. It's fine. It's all good. But anyways.
Corey is slowly going insane, basically.
Dude, I'm already there and back and on my way back for seconds. Okay.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Who needs a brain anyway? Who needs to be sane?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Everybody having a good week though? Besides it being a long week.
Yep. Not bad. Not bad down here. The weather has kind of gone from super hot to cloudy, so it's a nice change of pace, but it's not like overly cold, so next week though, if my phone is telling me correct, it's supposed to jump back up, so not looking forward to that. But it's nice to have like a cold front for a bit and then go back up to hot.
It's been warm here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hot, but it's warm. Definitely warm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's been okay. It's been a busy week for me though.
It's been a week.
It's been one of those. Yeah. So, but enough about that. Let's talk about video games. Let's talk about shows. Let's talk about movies.
We're here to talk about the games and all that jazz.
We have. Andre, you're our guest.
I am.
What are you doing in your life? What are you playing? What are you
I just recently hooked back up my PC, so I jumped back into
Destiny.
No. I honestly haven't played Destiny in like 2 months. Like it's not even like on my computer anymore.
Dude, Andre has like a love-hate relationship with Destiny at this point now.
Doesn't every Destiny player?
at this point, from the internet, it sounds like more hate than love. But
If it makes you feel better, though, Andre, I have played like very little of Destiny this season, and I barely finished my season pass last season. I don't think I'm going to finish it this season.
damn,
I think I'm on level. I think I'm like a level 40, maybe. I feel like
That's
playing other games.
yeah, right. And I mean, like that's what we're here to talk about. It's just all the games that we've been playing. But I will always love Destiny, but just as at the moment, it's in a real awkward spot with just the whole community. But I am playing Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just I beat the story long ago, but I'm just trying to like get I got all the shrines done. I'm trying to get all the outfits, all the medals of honor, just basically like get everything done. Um, I hop back into Days Gone. That's been fun. And I'm playing a little bit of Valorant with some
Ooh,
friends.
Valorant.
Yeah.
Damage is over there now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's their community manager now.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, if I ever see him in a game, I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah. It's funny. We were talking about that on TC the other day, and
Nice.
it was funny because I was like, man, Riot is a choice. If you want to get away from angry communities, I'm not sure Riot was the place to go.
Yeah, I don't think if you really want a calm environment, Riot having League and Valorant is the best idea to go to.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine though. LeRon, where'd you go? He disappeared. He had to pee or something. I don't know.
I had to check on something. That's all.
No, check on something enough to turn his camera off. That means he had to stand up and adjust himself.
Yeah. Like everybody, please don't turn to the left.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. Anything else, Andre? Anything else that's tickling your fancy?
Not lately. Sorry. Ever since Tears of the Kingdom came out, it's been a lot of that. But prior to that, good lord, I've been playing my Switch like it's the last thing I own. I mean, I've Metroid Prime, Persona 4, Pikmin 3. Jesus, what else? Ocarina of Time.
Man,
Paper Mario.
You have been
Nice.
messing it out.
Yeah, dude. I've just been like, I don't know why, but me and my Switch have just become one person. I swear to God.
Man, that's crazy. I'm like ready to retire my Switch.
I am, and I've been so tempted to buy an OLED, but just with all the rumors of like Switch 2 coming out, I'm like, don't do it.
Don't do
do
it
it.
to yourself.
Don't do it.
I'm like, don't do it.
You know what you should do though, honestly,
Mhm.
is like a month, like a couple months before the next console comes out, you should trade in your current Switch and get the OLED just so you have like in case it's not backwards compatible because you know it's Nintendo.
Right.
You'll have like a fresh console, right?
That's true. Yeah, like a couple months. I say like a month before the new one drops. I'm gonna wait and see like what all the specs are, and for some godly reason, Nintendo takes the biggest L and doesn't make it backwards compatible and screws everyone over. Then I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll buy an OLED. But I can't see them doing that because there are so many games for the current Switch. It would just be the biggest why.
I know. And like I know people are worried, but Nintendo's been pretty good about backwards compatibility until the Switch, right? I mean, the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, and the Wii U is backwards compatible with the Wii, and like,
and then if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo SD took like GBA cartridges.
The DS and the DS Lite both took
thank
Game
you,
Boy
thank
Advance
you.
cartridge. Well, I think I was trying, and GBA took Game Boy cartridges, so
yeah, so like they all kind of took something.
Yeah. So that's I don't know. I'm not that worried about it, but I am kind of worried about it. So especially like digital purchases. You know how many games I've purchased digitally on that thing? And I'm like, man, I don't know if this was like the best idea for a Nintendo console, but here we are. But yeah, I mean, my Switch is like, I'm like, Zelda's might be kind of like, you know, this might be it, or maybe that Mario game is coming out this fall, looks really good.
Mario, what? Super Mario Wonder?
Wonder, yeah. I love a good 2D Mario game. So, but LeRon, what are you doing? How's the ROG Ally?
The Rogue Ally is my best friend these days.
Actually, better question. What game system are you playing on the Rogue Ally?
All of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So here's currently every emulation that I've got going on right now. And you know what? I guarantee you, like the Hawks from like the Ninty Land are going to be looking for me. But I've got NES, Super NES, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy and Game Boy Color, DS, 3DS. Am I missing one? Oh, Wii and Wii U.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah, dude, the Wii, dude.
And Switch, and
so-
basically every Nintendo system except for the 3D Boy or whatever this shit was called.
What emulator are you using for Wii U? The CMU one?
Cemu,
Yeah.
Cemu.
So you can run
CMU
your games
for,
at 4K and 60 frames a second with ray tracing.
Cemu for Wii U, Citra for DS and 3DS.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. These are all the
You're not done? Oh, okay. I thought it was just all Nintendo stuff.
PS1, 2, and 3. PS1, 2, and 3. Sega Genesis, 32X, CD, Saturn, Dreamcast. And I'm missing something here. What's the other ones? Oh, Xbox and 360.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's all the emulation I'm running. I'm not going to tell you what games I'm playing because that would be just be crimes against nature at that point.
That'd be the entire pod, just you naming the games.
Yeah, well, a lot has been testing because, like, in all honesty, like I've said this, like the past few weeks that I've been talking about the ROG Ally here on the show, but like this is like a PC gamer's like heaven, because like we either have to lug our PCs with us, or we have to spend double the money and get like a good gaming laptop to like be able to do portable PC gaming stuff like that. So $700, gets you a very comparable like gaming PC gaming system and stuff like that. And plus, because like it comes loaded with Windows, you can sideload like Linux on it, and stuff like that. So for the people who love their Ubuntu, there you go. But as far as what I'm playing currently right now, I'm still chipping away at the backlog. So right now it's currently Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, as well as 2018 Spider-Man and the Dead Space remake. And real soon I'm going to have to add Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War 2018 to that mix because newsflash, I didn't beat either one of those games either. As a matter of fact, the 2018 run of PlayStation's first party titles, I either played and not beat those or just sidestepped them all.
Fool! Why? They're so good.
I know they're good, but like console gaming,
especially Spider-Man. Spider-Man was amazing.
I didn't beat Spider-Man. Like I got right to the very. You remember when Stoy threatened bodily harm to me and my family because I told you guys on Crossroads that I played all the way up to the final boss fight, but I was not ready to put the game down, so I just did not beat the game at that point.
The final boss fight's just like gut wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah. Horizon. I actually did not play it when it first came out. I got it when like the complete edition of the game came out. So it had the DLC with it and all that stuff, but still never beat the game. So basically, like right now I'm using this to go through my PC games backlog, and it's actually paying off. Oh, and I'm also still playing the Dead Space remake. I'm still on my second round of the Dead Space remake to get that alternate ending for the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
LeRon, if it makes you feel better, I also didn't beat Spider-Man,
Oh, boys.
but
What's
also
stopping
I
you
didn't
from
like
beating
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man?
so
Oh. That's a conversation for another show.
I know. I just upset Andre really bad. It's fine. Um,
Well, that was fun. I'm just kidding.
Um,
I just I just felt like I played that game like 20 years ago.
That's fair. I can see that point. I can see that point.
And then
yeah,
I
you know
played a
what? I
different
guess
version of that game called Prototype,
Yeah, no
which is
kidding.
the
Right?
same exact city.
I guess there's something to be said for that because, like, even when the Spider-Man experience, like, even when it's a new game or whatnot that has a Spider-Man like title on it, it does feel like you played the same game previously.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like that. I mean, like the one thing I will say Insomniac did very well with this game, besides presentation, is the swing mechanic feels so natural. You know, like there's no and like I realize as I'm playing Spider-Man again, Spider-Man Remastered, the PC version,
Yeah.
I realize that, man, like I zip across Manhattan like I'm crossing the street to check the mailbox. It's wild that I move around the city that fast, like and that's just because like they this is not about this is not even with fast travel. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's literally just like you press the trigger button and you're swinging.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh man, good times. Good times. Swinging is fun. I will give it that, but it's fun for like an hour.
The swing in that game really just fills that fantasy of feeling like Spider-Man. That's what it does.
My three things I love to do in Spider-Man outside swinging is when you're fighting and you web somebody to a wall or to a light post. I love that. Um, Number two, when you're fighting and you pop them up for an aerial, then you jump and you web swing into them. And number three, doing the whole Spider-Man thing that used to happen in the that we used to see in the movies and TV shows where he's like on the ceiling and he just yoinks somebody off the ground and
Yeah.
webs them up.
Yeah. That's I don't know, man. Maybe I'll give it another shot if my PlayStation stops making sounds.
When you turn it on.
Yeah,
Oh, it's wait, PS5 or 4?
5.
Five.
You missed the whole story the last couple weeks. It's fine though.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll work someday. Uh, for me, I so I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, of course. Just getting through some of that. The Wreck-It Ralph update is in the game now. So I now have Vanellope living on my island. That's all I got. That's all I got for Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Are we supposed to be impressed?
No. You can feel however you want, LeRon. Okay. Destiny, I've been playing a little bit, but only because like I don't know, when my friend gets on, it's the only time we ever hang out is when we play Destiny. And uh I I still haven't finished the story line
Oh
of
my
this season
god.
either.
I feel like I'm not the only one that's just taking a backseat with it.
You're not, man. Dude, our numbers for TC are like way down this like last season they started, but like this season they've plummeted. Like
Really?
people are
Wow.
just disinterested, man.
That's
Um
that's hard. Well, I mean, I was saying this to my friends. I'm like, I feel bad for all the D2 streamers that like made their whole thing about D2, and now that like most of them are just like done, or they're just like, I can't play it because I just can't retain people.
yeah. I mean, it'll be back. Like I think once these I mean, after the showcase and whatever they say these next two seasons are, I think that people will be excited again. I think I think people will be back. It's just there's been a lot of great games this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this expansion and these first two seasons haven't exactly been amazing.
The
And
bees knees.
this was a good time to take off, I mean, Lightfall was kind of disappointing and Season of Defiance was pretty disappointing, and Actually, this season is actually pretty good, but I think there's just enough people who are just kind of tired of the grind that, there's nothing really to grind for.
Yeah, no, completely fair. Completely fair.
And like they're not raising the life level anymore this year either. So like,
oof.
Yeah. So I mean, people who are max level, like unless they have like secret missions or like obviously the raid, right, might be a big draw. But I mean, also it depends on which raid it is. If it's Crota's End, nobody's going to come back for Crota's End.
Yeah, good luck trying to get people to play.
I mean, seriously though, like unless they like totally overhaul Crota's End, nobody's coming back for that.
No, if it's just like copy and paste, then it's like good luck, right?
Yeah. Although I did see a lot of developers kind of hinting that would be the raid that would be the easiest to bring back out of the two that are left from D1. So, and then save Wrath for next year.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Also, some people are pointing at Leviathan coming back. I'm like, please don't.
Good Lord, no.
Don't. Just leave it.
Good. No, what? No, come on. Don't do us dirty.
Yeah, the other big draw for Crota's End 2 is to have like all the Hive God raids or all like the Hive storyline raids in the game to play through now, which is like, well, whatever. Do you really need Crota's End in this? Like, I don't know. I wish they would rework Crota's End to be a dungeon.
Excuse me. Yeah. See, perfect. Make it a dungeon, and then you're set.
Yeah. Dude, when we were running Crota's End, like right before the Taken King came out, like we were running it in like sub 40 minutes.
Yeah, like easily. people could just destroy that in like a couple of like half hour at most.
Yeah. Yeah, that raid was especially because they had the bridge cheese and like all these other things too. Like
there was so many cheeses.
Yeah. So but the other game I've been playing is Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the kind of like the main game right now.
Talk to me.
Oh my god, dude, it's amazing. This game is incredible. I really love the story. I hope Cal Kestis shows up in one of these shows at some point.
I'm surprised he hasn't because
he's supposed to be showing up in Ahsoka.
No, really?
Wait, yeah. When does Ahsoka take place?
Well, we don't know. We don't know if it's going to be like a flashback from the time like when the Jedi were prominent, or what.
Well, didn't they say that this was basically season 5 of Rebels?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a flashback for all we know.
Yeah. Andre's raising his hand.
LeRon, you have 2 dogs now? I thought you only had the one.
Oh, my roommate has 2 dogs.
Oh, okay. Because last time I talked to you, you had only one, but now I see the corgi on the bed.
Yeah, but this one right here in my lap is the one that has attachment problems. Right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the dog or if it's you that has attachment problems at this point.
Yeah, LeRon has attachment problems. It's fine.
I do. Every time my boyfriend comes over to my place, it takes an act of God for him to actually get out the door because I am not trying to let him leave.
It's hilarious. But Corey, Survivor compared to Fallen Order.
Man, Fallen Order
would be a better game.
Was really good, but I think Survivor so far is a better game. It also, like, what I really enjoy is like they don't really Metroid you so much in this game, where like how powerful you were at the end of Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
like they don't really take any of your powers away. They just give you skill trees to make them stronger.
Oh, and, cool. Okay.
And there's tutorials that kind of like, if you didn't play the first game, they have enough kind of tutorials, and like the whole opening takes place on Coruscant, and like a lot of that kind of teaches you how to use the different powers if you haven't already.
Okay.
And there's a grappling hook in this game too. Now
that probably adds to the combat.
Well, it actually adds to traversal. And you can only grapple to certain things.
So like you can't grapple people toward you and then slash them?
No, but
you have the Force.
Yeah, you have the Force.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Never mind that. Never mind. You have the Force.
Also, there are companion powers now.
Hold up.
I just unlocked them before we started playing.
Companion powers? That's
Yeah.
sick.
So yeah, like I just got to the third area, and I found a previous character from Fallen Order,
Mm-hmm.
and if you hold right bumper and X, you can do like you can send them to like attack people, and then you can combo kill. If you're
Oh
close
god,
to them.
so cool,
dude!
That sounds so satisfying.
Dude, I just did it before we started recording. It was the coolest thing.
Oh my god.
So that's kind of all I've been playing. Jedi Survivor, I highly recommend it, especially like right now on Xbox. EA is having a huge sale, and it's also buy one get one half off or something on EA games.
How's the outfits?
No ponchos.
Well, okay, yeah, that I knew, but like, are some of the outfits kind of like Easter eggs to the films and all that jazz?
There's if pre-order bonus, you get a Han Solo outfit.
I heard you get a Obi-Wan outfit and a Han Solo outfit.
I didn't get the expensive version, so I didn't get those outfits, but some of the outfits are pretty cool. They're pretty interchangeable. They're pretty customizable. You have jackets. Nice. I unlocked a bomber jacket, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, that sounds cool. Okay.
Yeah, and I got these pretty cool pants with like this huge like belt that a blaster would probably go in a holster if you found one.
So do you kind of look like Han and Luke from the end of Episode 4, like their yellow jackets?
That's the Han Solo outfit you unlock when you pre-order.
Oh, cool. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Or when you get the deluxe edition or whatever. So I'm sure it'll come to the game, or you can buy the pack. I don't know. I didn't do any of that, but just because I figured. Also, you can customize your beard and your hair too.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like fully.
Yeah, there's a handlebar mustache and a mullet, so you can look like
gross.
You can look like white trash, or you can kind of, rock the full beard and like the long hair. Or
what you doing on my lawn? Let me grab my lightsaber and kill you.
Yeah. Also, the cool thing in this is like the outfits. You can customize the colors of everything you earn too.
Interesting. That's cool.
So, like, not only are there different outfits, but you can also change the colors of everything. Like your pants, your jacket, and your shirt, you can change the colors of.
Wow. Well, I'm glad they gave you full customization.
Yeah. Also, BD1 is also fully customizable. You can unlock new
parts. I heard about that, yes.
I have not customized BD1, though, because I like the way he looks right now.
I feel like I wouldn't touch him because he's just cool the way he is.
Yeah. He's definitely super cool. But the other things I wanted to touch on just real quick, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I cried to that, like, I think 3 times. It's such a great movie.
You cried?
Yeah, I cried.
It's I mean, have you seen it, LeRon?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. It was a good movie, but I don't know about tear jerking.
Well, like, I didn't full blown cry, but the part where, like, so spoilers 3, 2, 1, the part where they get Rocket back on the ship, and then I think it's Gamora. She's like, he's gone, and Star-Lord's like, no, he's my friend. Come on, Rocket, come on. And I was like, oh my god, I can't even. So like, I remember I turned to my friend, and I was like, are you okay? Because I heard him sniffling, and then I wiped my eyes, and I was like, oh my god, I'm crying. So there was that part that like really got to me, and then the end when Star-Lord goes and sees his like I think
that was a good scene.
Yeah, so when Star-Lord goes back and sees his grandfather, for me it hit me because my grandparents aren't here, and like my son will never meet his like my grandparents, so like that for me kind of hit, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So for that, but I don't know why the whole like Rocket dying scene just hit me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. Chris Pratt was so good in that film.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that.
Yeah.
In the movie. I also like at the end how it just said the legendary Star-Lord will return.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I thought they were all done. Like, I thought this was the movie where like they all kind of announced they were done. but I guess Star
Maybe
Lord
they're
will
maybe
be
they're
back.
recasting him.
Well, man, I don't know, man. I think they'd pay to get Star Lord back. He is Star Lord. I mean, you could probably recast someone like maybe Drax, or obviously Rocket and Groot can be recast because you could just get someone that sounds like the Bradley Cooper, or something, right? But like, I don't know, man. But Chris Pratt would be really pretty hard to recast.
I don't know if you can. Like, he's just so iconic.
Yeah. So I saw that. It was okay. I don't really care for Guardians of the Galaxy that much, but I feel like I needed to watch it to keep up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also watched the Mario movie.
High key, great film.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Andre.
It was okay.
I liked it.
It was okay. It didn't, you know.
It didn't annoy me.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I went into it not really expecting it to kind of be good because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. But then I came out of it and I was thoroughly happy. There you go. I was thoroughly happy.
Well, yeah. I think we can all say this. It was better than we expected, but
yeah.
At the same time, I don't know if we could consider this like a blueprint.
No. I want to say I liked all the nostalgia hits. I think Jack Black is an amazing Bowser.
Oh, he's so good.
I also love Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and
I don't get why people don't.
And Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. I want to see that movie. The Donkey Kong movie. I want to see that. I also liked all the nostalgia hits at the beginning, like the Punch Out characters. Spike from Wrecking Crew is like their old boss or whatever, which is funny. He's playing Kid Icarus on NES in one of the scenes, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, like if you know Mario, then you'll get everything.
Yeah, and even in like the climax of the film when he's hiding in the restaurant, there's like a literal Jumpman arcade machine right next to him, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Did you notice that when he was in his room, they had the Star Fox ship?
Yeah, it was on top of his TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of great nods. It's just like as a movie, I was like, this is about what I expected from someone who made the Minions. So,
see, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing right there. I think they played it a little too safe.
Yeah,
they played it very safe. It was also a bunch of nostalgia bomb. Not so much a nostalgia bomb, but like Easter eggs, all over the place. I mentioned this last week when we talked about Corey. Like the one thing I did like is like we finally have like an actual origin story for Peach.
Yeah,
I like that because I'll be honest with you, I always thought she was just the only human-looking denizen of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she was the only one. Everybody else is toads, and that's what made her the princess.
I want to know where she came from.
She fell down a damn pipe, just like Mario and Luigi did.
Yeah, but what world did she come from, though?
Or you know what? They're probably gonna use the next movie to queue up like the Yoshi's Island stuff, where like the babies like showed up, like get dropped by a stork or some shit,
Yeah. Also, like I was gonna say that maybe Donkey Kong kidnapped her, but Pauline was in the beginning, so
yes, Pauline was it. Yes.
So maybe not. So yeah, that was okay. But you know what the highlight of my weekend actually was watching the entirety of Twisted Metal. The Twisted Metal show is awesome. Okay, when I say awesome, I had zero expectations going in, and I saw people on the internet being like, "This is way better than I expected." And like I started watching it. The first episode was like, meh, okay. The second episode was like, okay, I'm intrigued. The third episode was where it hooked me. Like that, and then I watched the third episode and I went to bed. And the next day I was editing a bunch of podcasts and I ended up watching the rest of the series. And I think Anthony Mackie is awesome in the show. I think Stephanie Beatrice is awesome in the show. Sweet Tooth is hilariously psychotic throughout the show. Agent Stone is like he's like the whole police force is just stupid. They're all stupid, which makes it even funnier. and like the whole point of the show that's revealed at the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it made me laugh, and I'm like, of course this is like the mission. And then they kind of at the end kind of like give you an idea of what the second season's going to be, which I am like really excited for a second season. And that is not something I thought I would say about Twisted Metal at all. Like I played Twisted Metal 2 back in the day at my friend's house, and I was like, okay, this game's fine, but I want to go play, GoldenEye instead or something.
Obviously, of course, right?
Yeah, but man, Twisted Metal, if you would have told me 3 months ago that Twisted Metal was the best video game adaptation I'd watched this year, I would have laughed in your face and said I probably didn't watch it at all. But yeah, Twisted Metal, rad. If you guys can watch it, you should watch it.
I did see the premiere episode, and I kind of got sidetracked and only watched half of the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I'm also digging what they're doing with it. Like it's Twisted Metal, so yeah, expect some cheesiness, because in all honesty, like you can't really take the original games seriously. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just it actually has a plot, which
yeah.
Everything that goes to print and comes to like a streaming service or like network television, always has a plot, but it's always, like most of it has a really loose plot because they're like, oh, it's a video game, so we don't have to put that much effort into it. But there's an actual plot here,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, I think the cool thing about it is they're not concentrating so much on like the classic trope of characters that was from the Twisted Metal games. They actually Anthony Mackie's character is actually a original character, like made for the series, and it shows how he lives in that world of craziness. And that was the other thing too. They gave the world a backstory because I don't think there ever was a backstory in Twisted Metal for like how shit is the way it is.
Well, I actually listened to a podcast today that David Jaffe was on, and he was talking about it, and he was like part of the team that like created Twisted Metal, and he was actually supposed to have a cameo in the season, but it was happening when they were filming. It was happening during COVID, and he didn't want to get it, so which I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He said if they offer him one in season 2, he'll consider it, but he was saying like the show doesn't really follow the original games. The original games was supposed to be like, hey, this is taking place in like the real world, and like these car combat tournaments are like happening in a world like we live in. It's not like a dystopian world at all.
Okay.
And he thought that would make Twisted Metal seem even crazier than it should. And so he said that he watched the whole thing in one weekend, and he was like pleasantly surprised with what they did with it, and he is like really happy that it turned out the way that it did.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, and yeah, I mean, I know people have their opinions on David Jaffe. I know he's kind of like out there in a lot of ways, but like it's kind of nice that he was like giving the show his blessing, even though like it's not really his, so. But yeah, Twisted Metal, man, it's awesome. Highly recommended. So the one thing I do have to say though is like, if this was a weekly show and not all dropped all at once, I don't know if I would have stuck with it based on the first 2 episodes. But if you when you get to the 3rd episode, where they kind of like really introduce Sweet Tooth, and
it just
like
pops off.
Oh, dude, that episode with Sweet Tooth is so good. Man. But yeah, that's all we've kind of been playing and watching, and we have a couple topics. What?
I like how it's Will Arnett's voice as Sweet Tooth, but it's Samoa Joe playing him.
I know, and like it kind of threw me off at first, but like I feel like the modulation of Will Arnett's voice is done well enough to where like after the 3rd episode, I was like, okay, you just have to accept it.
You know what? After Will Arnett was, Will Arnett's a voice of Batman. After that, I was like, oh, this dude can do anything.
Yeah,
he's Batman
in the Lego movies. Yeah,
in the Lego.
Oh
movies,
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he's one of the he's up there. I wouldn't say he's up there with Kevin Conroy and Kevin Conroy and like some of the other ones that have done Batman.
I like things in black or really, really, really dark gray.
Oh my god.
Hey babe, what's up?
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
You're so spoiled.
Oh, man.
Yes,
LeRon's talking to his dog.
she's so spoiled.
All right, so we have two topics tonight, two that I really, really want to get to. The first one is about high sales expectations for video games, specifically because Square-Enix yet again reported poor sales of one of their games, even though it sold around 4.4 million units.
That's too low. I need 4.5. Damn it.
So Square Enix announced that, like, after they were initially like pleased with the 3 million units at launch of Final Fantasy XVI, they have now kind of stepped back and said that, you know, they didn't reach their high sales expectations, and they're blaming it on the poor adoption of the PlayStation 5. And I'm like, PlayStation 5 has sold 40 million units in 2.5 years.
Have they like read the room?
Yeah.
Have they read the room? Like, number one, like they were like PS5 was still a hard thing to find, and you know, like a lot of these sales are like scalped sales, you know.
Yeah. And you know, they also reported, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but they also reported bad sales of the Tomb Raider trilogy of games, which that first one sold like 7 million in the first month on Xbox 360 and PS3, and they said it was not good enough. And Hitman, that's why they let IO Interactive take Hitman with them, because it didn't sell enough.
Square Enix is looking to become like Japan's like EA.
Yeah, man, and their HD 2D games are also not selling as well as they wanted to. So they said that they were going to focus on more high budget AAA experiences.
Oh yeah, that's not going to bite them in the ass.
No.
First of all, they're HD 2.5D games. You know, first of all, that's a very weird niche to be at in the first place. You know, that's a very weird niche because, you know, like they're really just trying to appeal to like the traditional JRPG fan, but they're also trying to modernize it because, like, let's look at it. You know, like sprites don't look well on Unreal Engine. They don't look well. You know, so you know they're having their cake and eating it. They're trying to have their cake and eating it too. But what they fail to realize is that the era of the JRPG is it is not kind of dead. It's dead. You know, like not many people play JRPGs the way they used to anymore, you know. And there's something to be said about how JRPGs sell on like Nintendo, you know, like Nintendo Switch.
I don't think they make them like they used to.
That's number one right there, because I don't think there's any. I don't think the magic is lost on a lot of these games. You know, a lot of times, you know, when it comes to like those traditional JRPGs and stuff like that, like, you know, yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I haven't played a lick of it, but my roommate has it, and I've been watching him play it, and I'm like, man, this is a very nice game. You know, but the thing is, right? Corey, you follow along with me on this one, Corey. Like, like I like Final Fantasy when it's like techno sorcery and stuff like that. So, you know, like when there's like basically steampunk, you know, to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this Final Fantasy being the first Final Fantasy that's like, you know, back in like our actual fantasy like environment since what, Final Fantasy 9? You know, because like the same people who play Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 11 do not play the mainstream Final Fantasy games. So so like this going back to like its roots, you know, when Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VI, I feel like had a lot of mechanized stuff in it, but Final Fantasy VII just took it to the next level. You know,
I feel like I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I think not. No, 9 and this one have the same vibe.
yeah,
The
yeah,
steampunk thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and
Like
and
it's not super old school, but it still has like um a steampunky vibe. Yeah, I see
yeah,
now.
yeah, and the only people that are really going to play Final Fantasy 16 are the people who are really enthusiastic about like a Final Fantasy game, you know, because there are enthusiasts out there, but also people who also but also people who just want to play something different, you know.
Yeah.
And let's be honest with you, like with the way Final Fantasy VII remake is just like raking in the dough right now and stuff like that, people just like how when Final Fantasy VII released on PlayStation 1, like that became the blueprint for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out on PS4, and then Integrate comes out on PS5 and PC, and everybody once again it created the blueprint for what people expect Final Fantasy titles to be and stuff like that. Which is why Forsaken didn't do so well, and some of their other games, you know, like Final Fantasy Stranger in Paradise, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is what I think is happening. Is I think like so people expect high sales expectations, but I think what's happening is that you can make a game look as pretty as you want, throw everything at us, X, Y, Z, but at the root of it, it's still just a copy paste of something else.
Well, that's every video game though.
No, but that's my point. Is that like if they expected Final Fantasy to blow up, they should have done something different.
They thought they were doing something different by making it a completely fancy game, but you know they felt, and maybe that was because like you know like they saw what Elden Ring did, you know. Well, I mean, Final Fantasy 16 was in development at the same time Elden Ring was in development because Elden Ring was in development for over 5 years.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Here's the thing though. Final Fantasy 16 was released on one console, right? No PC port, no last gen, no
No,
Xbox.
exclusively PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has an 11% attach rate for a game that for a series that people have kind of like, to be honest, really have lost faith in over the last
Yeah.
few entries, right? I mean, I think 12 maybe was the last one that people like kind of really loved in a way, right? I mean, the
I didn't
disastrous
love
launch
12.
of 14, right? I mean, I know it's huge now, but remember, Final Fantasy 14 launched as like that launch was awful. And people, I mean, people love 14 now, but like it took them, you know, 4 or 5 years to turn that around, right? And make it a viable entry.
Yep.
And people like to this day still swear that Final Fantasy 13 is bad. And like, I kind of disagree with them. I really liked 13, but
Is that the one with lightning?
Yeah.
Lightning.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling 13.
13-2 is actually the best game in that trilogy.
But then again, I'm a hard sell on JRPGs in this day and age. Like, JRPGs they don't tickle anything for me, you know, most times, you know.
I'm a sucker.
I wonder. Yeah. Also, like, I wonder, like, when this 6 month exclusivity window ends, if they will actually port it to PC and Xbox. Or like one or the other. I mean, I would see a PC port before Xbox, to be honest with you, but just because that's how Square is kind of rolling these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like this is unfair to Final Fantasy 16 because like what I've played of it so far, that game is incredible.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I
don't get us wrong here. We aren't saying Final Fantasy 16 is a bad game because I've seen gameplay of it and that game looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks so good.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, LeRon?
No, I was just saying I agree. I agree with you on that. You know, the game is amazing and stuff like that. But Square also doesn't understand. I think Square is also forgetting to factor in something. We're literally in a year where like it's nothing but hit after hit slapping us in the face right now and stuff like that. You know, and just because people had $500-$600 to plop down on a PlayStation, you know, a PS5, that does not mean that they're spending $500-$600 every month to play every damn game. You know.
Yeah, like you have to keep in mind to back up what you just said. It seems like every month, if not every other month, we get a banger of a game. So like if you're
Yeah.
gonna make a game come out this year, you have to make sure like it comes out hard out of the gate.
And Final Fantasy 16 would have been the game if it came out on time last year. It
Yeah.
would have been the game, you know.
Mhm.
But like I'm not, I'm not mad at Square because like they had to Square-Enix because they had to take a back seat because of COVID and stuff. I get it, but everybody else is like, hey, like we can't get the game out in time this year, so we need to go ahead and just get the game out. We need to get the game out like next year when and everybody's calendars is stacked.
Yeah. Also, it came out like pretty close to Diablo 4, which everybody was
Yeah.
psyched about.
Yeah, so we have a Final Fantasy 16 coming out against a Western RPG, and we know Western RPGs are just like hopping the fence, blooding JRPGs' noses, and hopping back over the fence and eating their lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, not to mention, Diablo 4 has been hyped up for how long now?
Yeah, pretty. I mean, it's been
Too long.
Yeah,
Too long.
Yeah, especially when Rod Ferguson took over the project, right? Like that game kind of made a 180,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel really bad, and I feel like Square has like really what do you call it? Like their expectations are way too high for some of this stuff, and I think we're at a point too where games are getting so expensive that the reason why these sales expectations are so high is because the budget is so high.
Oh, brother, you want to talk about games being expensive? Here in Canada, it's like, I don't know, like $90 for a base game.
I also think companies like need to realize something. Like yeah, when a game releases and it's full price, so $70 in the case of Final Fantasy 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the game releases, yeah, like it's gonna net them a lot of money, but a lot of times it's not gonna net the sales until it hits. Okay, we have $70 games brand new. It's not gonna start netting the sales until it drops to $40. That's when the games are going to sell. So I think companies need to like expand their window for like their return on investment, stuff like that. Yeah, it kind of sucks that like $70 is the best price point they can get to like recoup like the development costs of the game and stuff like that. The development, the marketing, and the publishing. Yeah, but realistically, as long as like all of our economies, and not the United States economy, but all of our economies, like like Canada, Mexico, Russia, I'm heaping Russia in there, China, Japan. As long as everybody's economy is suffering inflation and like people can't do the average thing, to run their household, video games are going to take a back seat. Movies are going to take a back seat. Streaming platforms are going to take a back seat, because the one thing that's not going to take a back seat is energy, like because people need to keep their lights on, they need to have water running through the house, and food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like, I know as gamers, we really want to play everything if we can, but like also like can't play everything. You just
Can't
can't.
play everything. Yeah,
You can't.
That's why we have fucking backlogs.
Yeah. So I mean, and like with these subscription services too, it like makes it that much easier to play games without paying for them, theoretically, right? I mean, with PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, like, I mean, if you spend 10, 11, 15, $16 a month, you get access to like hundreds of games, right? I mean, I think the PlayStation Extra tier is a phenomenal tier. I think Game Pass Ultimate is a phenomenal value, right? Like these and
Facts.
like if you're just like somebody who's trying to save money and like you can't spend $60 or $70 every 2 or 3 weeks when one of these games comes out, it's like, well, sorry, I'm just gonna wait till somebody puts it up on their service or something.
Yeah, you just spend what you would spend on a game on a service, and you can get that plus every other game that you want to play for free.
Yeah, and then and basically like really good stuff is like hitting the systems right now. Like I mean, right now, like PlayStation Plus, like you get Dreams and you get Death's Door.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people are playing Tiger Woods, but still, like like two games right there that Death's Door, like that's one of the most highly acclaimed games of like what was that last year? That was last year, right? Death's Door?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Oh, is that old?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're getting and like PlayStation Plus extra tier. We're getting Lost Judgment later on this month. Lost Judgment. That was a game. That was a game that I actually was like, I'm going to spend money for. And guess what? I did not have money to spend on it, so I had to wait on it.
Yeah. And then like also like the console sales for console players is like these sales are becoming like more and more on par with like Steam sales these days too.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were games on sale during like the Xbox summer sale for like $3 and $5, and I'm talking like bigger games, like
banger games.
Yeah, like banger games.
Wow.
So I mean, I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla with all of its DLC was like $12.
Holy shoot.
So I mean, like you're getting stuff like that. That's like and like Wolfenstein, like the Wolfenstein Alternate History Collection was like $7.99, and it had all 4 games and the DLC in it. So and I get that some of these games are older, right? But like, I mean, you get something
for that deal. Why not?
I mean, if Assassin's Creed Valhalla like easily has over 100 hours of gameplay in it, right, with all the DLC, like the Wolfenstein collection easily has like 50 or 60 hours worth of content in it, right? Like you're getting good deals at these low prices, and like you're telling me like 70, 80, 90, $100 for like a new game is like, unless you're like 1,000% sure you're gonna get it. Like Zelda, I think was like an easy one, Andre, for us. Like, of course,
I spent I think $250 on that game. Easy.
Did you get all the like the collector's edition and the controller and stuff?
I got the collector's edition and the amiibo, and then I bought another amiibo that night. I bought so they had LeRon. If you want to say something, go ahead. I bought the Twilight Princess Link that night. I bought the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo that night, and then I bought the collector's edition as well.
Yo, Corey, did Andre just like be like, LeRon, you gonna talk about it, be about it just now?
Yeah.
LeRon, the more you find out, the more. No, just kidding.
Keep fucking around, basically.
Andre, you got to come on Pow Block soon.
I'd love to. I want, now that I'm like a Nintendo guy, I want to talk more Nintendo stuff.
Oh man, when Ed comes back, we'll get you on the schedule to come on
all right.
Yeah,
I'd love that because like I want to know, like I want to talk more games to play because like I know that there's a lot of like indie games. Excuse me. And LeRon, I've asked you about the game, but there's a game I want to try. I think it's a rogue game. They just did a Castlevania collab.
Dead Cells.
Thank you. Yeah, Dead Cells. I want to try that game.
Yeah, it's I think Dead Cells plays good, but I hate roguelikes. So fun fact, Dead Cells was the first game I played at an event ever.
Really?
Yeah. It was fun.
I mean, I'm not a fan of roguelikes either, but I'm down to just try some new games for the Switch.
You should play Death's Door, man. If you like Zelda, you should play Death's Door.
Death's Door? What is that about?
It's like a top-down Zelda game. Dude, you will love Death's Door. Trust me. Did you play the Link's Awakening remake?
I did. Yes.
You will love Death's Door.
Okay.
So, all right. Are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Yes, sir.
I think we covered that pretty thoroughly. Don't worry, Final Fantasy XVI. We think you did great.
Look, Final Fantasy 16. If you need a hug, I'll give you one.
I don't know, man. That game, it's scary, man. All right. So the other topic we have, like the Red Dead Redemption, the first game is getting ported to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and a lot of people are really angry that it cost $50. Especially because like the Xbox has backwards compatibility with 360, and I just looked at the store, and Red Dead Redemption, the game is the full price of the game is $19.99, and the Undead Nightmares is $9.99. But it was also on sale last week for like the whole package for like $14.99. And I know people are kind of, and the ports of the PS4 and the Switch ports are offering 0 new features.
Nice.
And it's $50. And Strauss Zelnick came out and kind of said like, what was the quote? He said something like, LeRon, you pasted the article in the doc. He said it was, quote, commercially accurate to sell the game at $50.
Of course.
This fucking clown,
man. Maybe that's why the one Hauser brother left.
Here's my thing. We were talking about this before we started the recording tonight. Here's where is it? Damn it, where is it? I lost track. I lost track of it. I had it pulled up just to be ready for this. But essentially, the major problem here is that Zelnick a couple of years ago said that Rockstar was all about when they re-release games, they either remaster or remake them because they feel like with a technological jump, from hardware to where it is now, so like that, it makes more sense to actually put some work into the games and actually make them presentable and looking nice for this generation. And ultimately, he said that back in like March of 2021, and now like the chickens come to roost because like since then we've had like those garbage ass like Grand Theft Auto remasters, and then here comes Red Dead Redemption. Basically, like it's a port, and it's not well. Corey, is it or is it not having the same features as like the Xbox compatible one?
So here's the deal with the Xbox 360 version on Xbox One X and Xbox Series X. It runs at a native 4K at a locked 30 frames a second, with a few texture updates and auto HDR and all that stuff that Xbox backwards compatibility program offers, right? Does all this through their machine learning and the way the console functions and the engineering behind the backwards compatibility program. The port for PS4 Pro runs at, hold on, I want to say checkerboarded 4K, which runs at 4K, native 4K, locked 30 frames a second, whatever HDR the PS4 Pro offers, and which is essentially the same as the 360 version on Xbox One X or Xbox Series X.
Oh, I got it. I found it. All right. So this was what he said in an interview back in 2021. Strauss Zelnick. He said remastering has always been part of the strategy. We've done differently than the competition, meaning that we don't just port titles over. We actually take the time to do the very best job we can, making the title different for the new release and for the new technology that we're launching it on. Straight from that man's mouth.
I don't. So Strauss Zelnick. I'm trying to think of like. So.
Oh, by the way, he also got like a $46 million payday this year.
I know. All right, it might be higher than that, to be honest with you. So he's Take Two, or he's Take Two CEO. So like I went into this conversation like only thinking about Rockstar games. He's talking about stuff like, when because they publish Borderlands, NBA 2K, Civilization, XCOM, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what else Take Two owns, but like, I understand that like you want to put your best foot forward, right? But like, I think you could have done a little bit more with Red Dead Redemption, right? I like that game a lot. Actually, it's like, I think Red Dead Redemption is a lot better than playing GTA, to be honest.
Facts.
Which is funny because I haven't played the second one like at all.
No, oh, dude, the second one's way better.
Well, here's the thing. I was like, man, this game's like 100 hours long, and everything's so deliberate. I hear like even like walking and loading your gun and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to shoot people as a cowboy, right?
Fair.
But I did get it when it was on sale. It was like, I think it was like $17.99 at some point, so I ended up getting the digital version. I'll play it at some point, but maybe. That's the thing with these sales, man. You just buy stuff when they're cheap.
Dude, for real, man, for real.
Hold on, but I know this conversation is about backwards compatibility, right?
Yeah.
Like just today, Video Game Chronicles released an article saying that Strauss Zelnick has said if the Switch 2 is not backwards compatible, it would break contract with the players.
The hell does that mean?
It basically means something that Corey said earlier, is that we're kind of used to Nintendo being backwards compatible with their systems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like it's like how can you be anti-consumer in one sentence and then be pro-consumer in another?
Yeah. But I mean, 2K doesn't really have a lot, Take-Two doesn't really have a lot of games on the Switch. To be fair, like they have some Borderlands games, they have XCOM, they have, I think there's a Civilization game on there. They do release NBA 2K every year, which I do play it on the Switch because I wish EA would freaking put Madden on the Switch. I would be way more likely to play it, but that's another conversation for a different day. But yeah, I mean, in terms of backwards compatibility, man, like I think we're seeing more and more as this generation progresses. Even last generation, when Xbox kind of announced that they were being backwards compatible with 360, right? And then PlayStation 4 wasn't with PlayStation 3. I think a lot of people really have a lot of nostalgia for PlayStation 3 games. Mm-hmm. And I think the way that PlayStation has gone about backwards compatibility is like maybe not the greatest way, although like it's I was listening to this interview, side tangent a little bit, about PlayStation backwards compatibility. Moore's Law is Dead is a YouTube channel that like does a whole bunch of tech stuff, and they do some PlayStation stuff, and he was talking about how PlayStation 3's emulation, like to get backwards compatibility running on the PlayStation 5 for PlayStation 3, every game utilized the core processor on the PlayStation 3 differently. So each game is going to have to launch with its own emulator based on how they use the core processor.
That's actually the same thing that's going on with the Switch and all the retro console games.
Yeah, and he kind of made that comparison, I think, at one point, but this is a little bit more complicated based on, obviously, the PlayStation 3 is newer hardware than like even the N64, right? Which is the emulator that has the most problems on the Switch, where they actually have to go in and like have multiple versions of the emulator to run specific games. But yeah, like the way, and that's why PlayStation originally started issuing remasters of PlayStation 3 games on PlayStation 4 because it was just cheaper and easier.
Yeah. Right? Which I'm all about,
Yeah. And they started with the most popular games, right? But then they like stopped for a while.
Yeah.
So man, I wish they would have done like Infamous would have been a good one.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they haven't done that yet.
I mean, God of War Ascension would have been awesome.
The Resistance games.
Yeah, Resistance, the Killzone trilogy, even like the HD remasters of the PS2 games on the PS3, like the Ratchet and Clank collection,
Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper.
Yeah, the God of War collection, the Prince of Persia collection that was only on PS3.
Oh boy, let me tell you.
Right, like, oh man, if they would have, yeah, man, dude, those PS2 collections on PS3.
Prince of Persia 2 is the best one ever.
I know everybody hates that one, and I really like it. I really like Warrior Within.
The Warrior is the best one. Who hates it?
Everybody hates it.
Why?
Everybody thinks Warrior Within's the worst of the trilogy.
Oh, brother, you gotta give me a break.
Oh man, everybody thinks Sands of Time is the best one.
The Warrior Within went so dark, and the soundtrack was so good.
Warrior Within, that was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I absolutely hated that game. Because you want to know why? It wasn't
Because you suck at it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't so much the game itself. They did a piss poor job of the actual dubbing of the game.
The what?
Like the dubbing, like when the characters talked, the vocal track was off.
That's your con.
Hey! I can't play a game if we're looking like the old 70s kung fu flicks where the mouth speaks, and then all of a sudden you hear the mouth moves, and all of a sudden you hear the words.
Oh, fair.
I can't. I tried. Like I played it. I played it all across. I tried playing it across 3 different consoles, thinking that as each re-release happened, or at least each port happened, they would fix it. Even the PC port had the problem.
Don't play Star Fox then.
I don't. But then again, isn't that the magic of Star Fox though? That the mouse move and the audio is synced to somebody else's beat.
Dude, I have to make a confession. Like the more and more I think about playing Star Fox, the more and more I just don't like Star Fox. I really liked Star Fox 64, and I really like Star Fox Adventures, but I think it's because you're not flying or driving anything.
I really want them to remake Star Fox Adventures so badly.
Yeah, I would like again, this is a topic for a different day, but I think if they make a new Star Fox game at this point, they have to evolve the series. You know what the best Star Fox game is actually? Is that Starlink game that that Ubisoft made.
I heard that game was a big hit.
Dude, it's on sale on the eShop right now. The digital version, and you don't have to buy any of the toys. You can play the whole game as Fox in the R-Wing. It's incredible. That game is so fun. Which they're using that technology to fly from planet to planet in that game in the new Star Wars game that's coming out. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
So, but anyways, 50. Here's the thing. Do you guys think that Red Dead Redemption today is worth $50?
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't either. I was just wondering because.
Oh, I was about to say the way you respond to us. I was about to say.
No, I was just expecting more than just a simple no.
No. I think it's probably worth the first one, maybe on a solid day $30 on a discount 15.
Yeah.
20.
This is almost a 14-year-old game.
Yeah.
So we need to take that into account. And you know what? Me personally, I have to hold Rockstar and Take-Two with the same accountability that I hold Nintendo to, because I feel like Nintendo, if I can say Nintendo washes us with their full price ports,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say the same thing about because technically $50 is what the game sold for back when it released on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same price. It's basically brand new pricing from that era. For this port. Which why?
Right.
Why? And you know what? And the crazy thing is, guess what? I have a PS3 emulator on my ROG Ally. Guess what? I might save $50.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth $50 either. It's a great game, and I think if you haven't played it, you should probably play it. But hey, if you have an Xbox somewhere, even a Series S, you should probably buy it there because it's cheaper. Just and there's no new features or anything in the new versions. But
the smart way to price this would have been $40 is a stretch. The smart way to price this would have been $30. And the reason why I say $40 is a stretch because Square-Enix got away with Final Fantasy X and X-2 and Final Fantasy XII, re-releasing those on the Switch for $40. Of course, I didn't buy them at $40 when they came out.
More than that at launch.
They were? I thought
they were $60.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I thought they came out at 40.
No, they were 60.
Oh, I'm a liar. I'm sorry, but guess what? I bought both of those games at $25.
Yeah. They were on sale at some point, and I ended up getting them for $40 on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, I think I think the most you should charge for any re-release, unless it's something like Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 2 or Dead Space, right? Like that far into some sort of remake, right? Or Final Fantasy VII. Like those remakes set a new standard. And like unless you're going that route, any re-release or HD remaster should be $40 period. Like at the most.
Yes.
And like, yeah, I could see Red Dead being $40 because it includes all the DLC from Undead Nightmare, which everybody loves, right? And like, okay, if the base game you would value at $30 max and $10 DLC, okay, I can handle that. But man, $50 is like that's a stretch. That extra $10 is kind of a stretch.
Just railroading us for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and like you said, LeRon, it's because they're Rockstar and they think they can do that because they're Rockstar, right? And they have GTA and Red Dead. I mean, even when Bully was re-released on Xbox 360, the Scholarship Edition, that wasn't even $50 at the time.
Yeah, I think it came out $40.
Yeah, I think it was 40. So, yeah, I think people are. Now, granted, how many of these people are going to buy it? How many of these people are not going to buy it? How many of these people are just loud internet people? But I think that this, aside from the angry internet, I think that this is something that, people could say, okay, this is kind of ridiculous.
I have this feeling. I have this feeling that it's not going to sell well. And then the sad part is, Take-Two's going to do what Take-Two always does. Well, we put it on a system that wasn't really powerful enough to be. They're going to say some excuse to say the Nintendo Switch was inferior, which is why nobody wanted to buy it.
Yeah, I do see a lot of people that I follow that play on Switch almost exclusively are like really excited for it, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it going to run on the Switch?
Well, I mean, it's an Xbox 360 game.
Okay.
I bet in handheld mode, if it runs at 720p, and I doubt it's going to be a locked 30 because nothing runs at 30 frames a second on the Switch. Nothing. I mean, except Mario Kart. Especially ports. Most ports are pretty poor. Aside from a select few, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like excited to play this in handheld mode. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, my Switch is for Nintendo games and some indies.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's for first party and some indies, and that's it.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, when Nintendo Power Block was the only show I was doing, I did play the entirety of Doom and Wolfenstein on the Switch, which are pretty decent ports, actually. And The Witcher 3 is actually a pretty good port. I would, if you don't have any other console and you're traveling a lot and you want a game that's going to last you a long time, The Witcher is actually pretty good. But
fair.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything else to say on the subject, unless you guys do.
I don't.
Neither do I.
I think we've said our takes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Is there anything else we want to hit on before we get out of here?
I think we're good. I think we have a show.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
Nice and tight. That's how we like it.
Oh no! Oh no!
I gotta prepare you for After Dark, LeRon.
This is not After.
I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Andre, thank you for joining us tonight. I missed your.
Always a pleasure, boys. It's always a pleasure.
I missed your face.
I miss you too, Corey. I miss you too.
Yeah.
But you are a workhorse by doing so many podcasts, and I applaud you. Actually,
no, don't do that. I need to stop doing so many.
I applaud you.
I appreciate you. I really glad that we got to do that. We need to when Ed comes back from vacation, like I said, we'll get you on Power Block so we can talk about some.
Please do, yeah, please do. I would love to come on and chat.
LeRon, I appreciate your time as well.
What that stormtrooper call Finn in episode 7? Traitor.
Yeah,
traitor.
Yeah. You guys are relaunching Crossroads soon.
Yes, we are.
So,
yes, we are. As a matter of fact, we need to start doing the social media campaign and stuff like that. I gotta pick Mr. Camera Wizard, here, Andre, because he needs to teach me the blueprint for shorts. because this guy, if you guys go to social media, like he basically does a YouTube short, like every other day now.
Yeah, I try and do one like every other day now.
Yeah,
those are great.
yeah, and yeah, like I feel like I'm your biggest cheerleader, man. I always like sometimes like they'll come across like when I'm on my phone scrolling, they'll come across that, and I'll see like you know like the number of likes you get on this stuff is like it's not the biggest number, but you know like I see it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure like one of those is already me.
It's bigger than our numbers.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, like I post and I just don't really care to look at the like. I'm just like I've gotten to the point where I am posting because I want to just make it mine, and it's just basically a diary of like myself. There is no niche. I post whatever from gaming stuff to just funny things to just tech stuff to just life. That's me.
You're like those corn stars. Like you create the footage and you never look at it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
You create it, you set it out in the wild, and you're just like, nope, that ain't me.
Wow. Oh man. Gosh. Jeez. All right, we're getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Follow us on social media at Boss Rush Network. Go to our Patreon if you want to support us. You get stuff early, get a few exclusives. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Our exclusive conversations from Patreon go up there a couple weeks later. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
So long.
Bye-bye.
The Boss Rush Podcast is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. This show is produced, written, and directed by me, Corey Dirrig. My co-hosts are Stephanie Klimov, LeRon Dawkins, and Edward Varnell. You can find Stephanie at Klimov_author on Twitter and Instagram, as well as on the EXPcast. You can find LeRon at Exodus803 on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, and also on Crossroads, the video game podcast. You can find Edward at ThatRetroCode on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting Nintendo Power Block. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IamCoreyInHD and find me hosting Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast, and co-hosting Nintendo Power Block. Find the Boss Rush Podcast on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.